Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Nick, Jace? How you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. Looks like I'm moving slow. Moving slow. What's up? I am Mike Thompson. If you don't know, I like to sculpt and paint and do stuff. So, very riveting, very riveting. Let's switch over to the screen. All right, so if you have been in some of my previous streams, you know I've been working on a Lion-O. I've been posting some of the progress on my socials, which are all right above if you're interested in checking out any of those. If you go to that link tree, it has everything for me on there. But yeah, so I have a reference board here with a ton of reference of like lions and Lion-Os and Homelanders. Oh my. All kinds of stuff going on here. This is where I was like early on in the process before I really posed them. I had them kind of looking like this. It's okay, right? And now I am getting into the fur of this, right? So now I'm into the detailing part. Let me know if this music is too loud, by the way. More Lion-O. That's right. I hope that's a good more Lion-O and not like a more Lion-O. Because it could be one of those. But yeah, so this is where I am with, you know, detailing the gauntlet right now and his arm. And then I went in and did some revisions to the thickness of the gauntlet. This is kind of the pose as it is. Been playing around with proportions because I did notice like way after the fact that he had little tiny short legs, which was crazy. Fixed that, kind of went in, gave him some better hair. That still needs to be detailed. Gave him a shoulder plate thing, which I don't love. I don't love the tiger head on there, really. I want it to feel a little more like the ThunderCats kind of graphic thing. In between that, really, and Homelander. Because I think the graphic nature of this Homelander bird is dope, and I'd like to figure out how to give that tiger or whatever, that cheetah, whatever that thing is on his shoulder, I want to give it more of this type of feel, right? Because right now it's kind of corny. So that is it. Let's see. Hey, from India, how are you doing? Good Lion-O, excellent. Attentive slug, dope. Thank you, thank you. You guys are the best. So yeah, that is that. Let's get Photoshop out of here. Let's get over here. So I just turned off his sash thing. So I probably am going to figure out how to do this so that I have classic Lion-O, which is like Speedo Lion-O, Lion Speedo. Kind of like, where's the old, well, I just had it, like the old school joint, right? Kind of like that without the little stomach window, which was crazy. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. I don't know. But yeah, so more of classic along with, where is it? I'll probably have this so that I can kind of put it on top with, maybe I'll have like pins in his side that I can attach this. And I do like that part and I do like that. So somehow I'll make it so that I can have that as a swap out. I do have a much more lion-ish head too. And this one's kind of lion-y, but probably one that's maybe a little too lion-y, but I want to have that as a swap out head. So that's that. What else is going on here? As I said, whole lot of kind of, I'll just be doing that fur, right? And then the other thing too on this gauntlet, if you noticed, is I went in and added, let's hide everything but the arms. Turn off everything but the arms. And then let's turn off this arm right here. Okay, and let's turn off the sword. Okay, all right, so get this out of the way. It's over here. Yeah, so if we're looking at it, like I've just gone in and added a little pad on the bottom of his hand because I thought, why not? And then I beefed up the first digit of all the fingers to make it feel a little more like a cat, you know. So we're getting there. Like it's this is one of those things where I'm taking my time. Quite honestly, this is going to be a portfolio piece for me, right? Like I'm in between jobs for Sideshow right now. I'm not working on anything for them. I would love to get, you know, like a XM's attention or Kotobukiya or Diamond, whoever, right? Prime, whatever. and and so I'm going full cat on this. I know they tell you don't go full cat. It's not true. Go full cat when you have a chance. I'll be showing you Roscoe. We'll be doing a whole bunch of fur, probably too much, but we'll do it. Also, this Friday, I'm doing an interview with Sideshow Collectibles, which is kind of cool. It's a video interview. I don't know where they'll post it, but that's kind of cool. I think it's cool for me anyway. All right, so let's come over here. And what you'll notice with this arm here, let's turn off this one yet again. I just want to be able to see what I did. So I went with a shorter fur on his actual arm and the gauntlet because I want those muscles to still be defined. And then on the front, where the bicep is, I left that kind of bald. Not bald, but like really short. So it's kind of like, you know, when you flip your dog on its back or whatever, and you look at his tummy, it's got like a short hair and then longer hair and I don't know, whatever. So I'm doing that on this. As you can see, there's still some parts in here that I need to add to the gauntlet. I widened it up a bit too because it was too fitted on his forearm and it felt a lot like, what's up, Emperor of Cheese? It felt a lot like one of those thin kind of ladies' gloves that kind of goes up to your elbow, you know, where you have the cigarette that has like the long holder. And I didn't want that. I wanted it to be more like a gauntlet, Infinity Gauntlet type style. You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyway, so that's that arm. Let's switch over to this one and turn off these guys. I think maybe I'll just solo it out. Solo it. Then go to painting is also a big deal on this. As you can see, I'm trying to keep it very kind of reminiscent of the comic, or not comic, cartoon, where, you know, his forearms are lighter than the rest of his arms and, you know, whatever. I love taking things that are from when I was younger and clearly a toy or a cartoon or something and try to make them really realistic. Like that's my jam. So whether it be painting or sculpting or whatever. So that's it. All right. This hand is just a solid, it was like a solid, you know, thing that I just kind of sculpted the fingers in. So you're not going to see an awful lot of space in between it. And he's holding on to the Sword of Omens, if I bring that back. So it will, you know, it's gonna kind of be like that. I got to detail the sword. It's like little things at this point, you know, but just it's the details that make it great, I think. And by it, I mean people's work, not my stuff. Alrighty then. So one thing I don't want to do is smooth out all my details. So I just restarted ZBrush. I'm going to turn down I'll turn off RGB for smooth, and I'll definitely turn down my Z intensity to like a 15 maybe. And then that way I don't lose all that nice kind of, you know, detailing that I have going on. Another thing is constantly going back and forth to reference, right? So I got a lot of ref here and I lean into it like big time, because no matter what I think I know, you can't argue with actual photographs. So fill a book with what I don't know. All right, let's solo this out. Move this over here. And let's see what I missed. J Murphy, cool. Hey, what's up, Frosty? Stay frosty. Some bad looking bodies. They roided out, son. They got rage. All right. And you can see for this one, this is before I really started detailing. So I still have my strokes from the clay brush that I use. Constantly, let's turn this down because at this point, I'm on like micro details and it's really just kind of refining the silhouette at this stage. So I do like to keep some of these strokes because it is supposed to be fur-ish, and that helps me to not only maintain that look, but also kind of really get some nice transitions between the muscles, I think. Super excited about this sideshow thing. I was just there visiting them a few weeks ago for a job I was doing with Intel, and I got to go over and visit Sideshow and go over to the Pixo campus and see the building and go over and see the Gnomon guys. That was dope. There's nothing better than meeting people in person. Like I never met Paul and those guys in person, and as an artist and just jobs in general, I think everything is about relations. And so I got a new job opportunity by getting to meet those dudes in person. So shout out to non-virtual in a post-COVID world, you guys. It's not post, it's still going on. Did I lose my music? Oh no, there it is. Cool. All right. So yeah. Anyway, this is kind of what I want. So let's get into the furage on here. And for the arm, I'm using very. I don't want it to be long hair, right? I want it to be kind of shorter hair. So I have this eyebrow brush that doubles as like a short hair brush. And I'm going to use that now, right? Let's not talk about it. Let's be about it. Let me see if I can find a lion. Surprisingly, their hair is not as long as you would think. If you're looking at like their paws and stuff, like that's short, right? It's really short. But I want it to look like fur as opposed to noise. So I'm going to make mine longer. Don't hear music. You guys not hear music at all? Anyone? Is it quiet in here? You don't want to hear just my voice. That's not good. Nobody wants that. You guys can't hear music though? Let me know. That would suck. Let's see. Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Not at all. Okay, thanks. All right, so let me fix that. Ugh, I hate, like, for real, I don't like hearing just my voice, so I apologize to you guys. Audio. Aha. Yeah, it's turned off. Sorry. This should be headphones. Oh, dude, I have it muted. Now I can't unmute it. Oh, okay. Apply. Okay. Unmute. How about now? Can you hear it now? Yes, no music. This should be right now. Is it? You got it now? There we go. All right, cool. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So I want this white part to come up higher. So let me just paint the color in here. Wish I could play the ThunderCats music without getting a strike. Whoa. Nope. There it is. What's up, Carlos Santana? How do you use layers for detail that doesn't permanently apply to your base model? So if I wanted to do this, probably a smart way to do it. Let's do that. You know what? Good on you for reminding me. I will go to, first I'm gonna go to my morph target and I'm gonna store morph target. All right, so anything I do now, doesn't matter what I do, I can always fix it. Let's go over here and like, oh no, what did I do? I just totally screwed this guy up. I wish I didn't do that. What can I do to fix it? Boom, it's fixed, son. Done. All right, so let's undo that because I want to store the morph target. All right, so I got that. So that's good. Now what I can do is I can go to my layers, make sure that I am at my highest subdivision level. And now layers will cut off when I jump down. So just keep that in mind because I will be jumping down to like smooth and things of that nature. But let's go to layers and I click on the, right now, first of all, this whole arm is only 179,000 points, which is not nearly enough to capture fur detail. It's just gonna be messy. So I'm gonna divide this like a bunch. Let's divide this maybe like 2 times. Let's see, divide. All right, now we're at 718,000. All right, now we're at 2.8. So this arm is 2.8 million. Normally I'm like really nervous about a whole bunch of polygons. Like I don't like subdividing until I absolutely need it. So for me, what I'm gonna do is, like I said, high frequency detail. So it requires there to be, you know, more polygons on the model. All right, so now I would say plus, it's recording now. And if I wanted to add, like, let's say I wanted skin texture, you know, I could come over to here. I could go here to my skin, right? I could go to my flip normals pack. Shout out to Henny and Morton, I think that's right. Morty and Rick at Flip Normals, they're killer. I get their stuff all the time. But yeah, now, so now I could just drag out my, let's get the color off of there, turn off the color. All right, so now if I want a detail, I could kind of drag out. Look at that, skin texture. Which I might do on the bicep part, since that part doesn't really have a lot of fur on it. I might do that later on, maybe. Mix it up a little bit. Okay, but I don't want skin, I want fur. What's up, Mickey? At Temple loved my email about ZBrush. I don't know anything about that, Adam. Jeez. Don't know anything about that. Where's the fur? Just had it. People and creatures. Hair and fur. There it is. All right, cool. Okay, so the way that I've been doing the short hair is with, I have a short hair brush, right? So if I have this, depending upon the size of my brush, is gonna show you the hair size, right? That's too big, it's too big. So I'd like scale it down, and now it does something like that. Now I don't do the zigzaggy stuff. What I've been doing is kind of following the following the contour of my dude. So let's see. And you know, remembering also that I want to print this. I got this Anycubic behind me. I want to print this thing at a 1/4 scale. So I definitely want it to be, I want it to be present in the print. And then the other thing too is I want this to kind of fade out as it gets to his bicep also. So I really should be kind of looking at that as well. Let's do this subtool, go back to this arm, frame it. Just see what I did there. All right, so it just kind of gets softer there. Let's bring that down a bit. And maybe put this with these. Sorry, bear with me a second. I don't need the whole gauntlet. I just need the arm part. So do that. And for the people who come late, I'm going to do a screenshot of everything. And then they can see what I'm working on. So they're like, hey, what are you working on, Mike? Be like, you should have came earlier. Thunder, 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 ThunderCats. Can't not sing the song when you're sculpting the dude. Turn on proportions and turn down proportion. Turn the proportions down, please. 85. All right, so there you go. I got a slight bit of you know, angle on him, but not crazy. That. Okay. Let's turn off. I only want this part right now, so let's solo it. And the color might be a little confusing, so maybe we turn off the color too for now. Yeah, it's better. All right. Let's go back down to this arm, which I just started. There you go. Yeah, so if you guys have questions, just hit me up. Start game over. What's going on? David Arenas, what's going on, man? How you doing? When you coming back? I have mentees that have other things in life that are going on, and sometimes they have to go do family stuff. And so David is an amazing sculptor that has gone to do family stuff. And I'm ready for him to, like, maybe chill out with the family stuff. Maybe you've done enough family stuff. Come on back. Back. We got more work to do. What's up, Keo? Thanks, Start Game Over. Appreciate you, man. If you guys are new to my stream, you don't know who I am. I have a stream on Friday nights with my buddy Bradley. And we have guests on from time to time. You should join me and Bradley tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We have a guest. You got to join him to see who it is. I'm not even going to tell you who it is. I want to surprise you. But we're working on something cool. I'm not even going to tell you what we're working on. I will tell you this: Lion-O began as as our first topic of the Stylus League a little over a year ago, and then I put him down and didn't work on him anymore. So it's good to be able to have time to come back and finish it so I can print. I'm gonna finish the fight like Master Chief, you guys. You can see this is just like selective tapping. The brush is doing all of the work. I'm not splitting the atom here. All I'm doing is kind of just figuring out the direction I want it to go. So Pablo Munez has some amazing brushes. Those are the ones I used for the longer fur. I got those from ZBrush Guides, if anybody is wondering. ZBrush Guides is Pablo's site, and truth be told, like, there are certain people who are like real bosses at ZBrush. Pablo is definitely in that camp. You know, he's in the Pavlovich Grissetti camp of you know, just doing bananas stuff on a consistent basis. All right, and if I find that there are parts here that I don't like, I just kind of smooth them out. Maybe step down, smooth them out, and then resculpt. All right, so then I can just hit them back again. I will tell you, no lie, the fur is incredibly tedious. Like, this is like, it's no joke. I thought at first I was just going to do some selective cloning and stamping after I got an area I liked. And I can use that as a starting point in some places, but more often than not, I'm finding that I'm having to, you know, just do it live, man. For me, I'm sure that there's somebody out there that's like, hey, man, I've seen Pablo do like whole characters with, you know, fur in no time at all, but that's not me. I can't do that. This would be good too for, you know, maybe like Wolverine. You know, he's got like those hairy triceps and deltoids, so probably could be kind of dope to have that as well. Oh, this isn't right. Hold on a sec. Okay, there you go. Got ahead of myself. I got up over my skis, as they say in the hood. That's what they say. Let's see. Hey, can we get these brushes somewhere like hair, etc.? Yeah, I don't know where I got them. I would say check Gumroad. This is called an eyebrow brush. And I'm sure I got it on Gumroad, or probably on ArtStation. The guys got it now. But yeah, check around that. Ryan says hello. What's up, Ryan? Okay. All right, let's see. What did I? All right, I missed some stuff. Sorry, let me start over. All right, so Edward's asking, why are you sculpting each arm instead of using symmetry and reposing? So I like to break symmetry early with my guys and pose them, and then I go and work on the muscles, either, you know, being contracted or kind of stretched, depending upon the pose. And then that way I get something that's a little more realistic. I don't like symmetry in my paintings or in my sculpting, and I find that if I keep something in symmetry for too long, it looks really, really boring. You know, even if I keep it with an A pose, I'll keep it at an A pose for like a relaxed pose for as long as I can to get symmetrical volumes, and then I break that because I don't want it to feel cookie cutter, and I find that with my work, it does. Right? I use Transpose Master. I don't use rigs. And so, so when I'm doing stuff, it looks whack if I do it that way. That's just me. Everybody has their thing, so you can do it a different way. What are some tips on making your cloth more dynamic? It's a lot of things you can do. You can use some of the, you know, some of the new features to ZBrush that actually have cloth physics. I tend to just sculpt in very low resolution the shape that I want. So like when we're talking about that wrap around his waist, I sculpted that at like super low poly count, and then step up just enough to add a wrinkle here and there, like the larger forms. And then as I need more definition, I would divide. That's the way I do all of my work, whether it be, you know, whether it be anatomy or, you know, anatomy or clothes or hard surface or whatever. Like it always starts off super duper low. You can see his shin guards right now are like really just a placeholder. They're really low, but that's another thing that I'll be working in that way. I'm gonna decide the design of them and use ZModeler to give me what I want. And then once I have it, I'll probably subdivide and add, you know, battle damage and edge wear and things of that nature after the fact. Things of that nature. Thank you. It's Arnold. I'll be here all week, you guys. Tip your waitress. Not a traveler. Thank you so much. Hey, Mike, have you met Daniel Bell in person? I did. Not only did I meet Daniel Bell in person, let me show you guys something. You're going to love this. Hold on 1 second. Not only did I meet Daniel Bell in person, he came to one of my speaking engagements for Wacom, and then we went out to a club and hung out, right? There's some real fanboy stuff, but he's a cool dude. And then I brought my Captain America shield. See how now Cap doesn't have an arm or a shield? And check this out. Boom, for my good friend Mike. That's Daniel Bell, player. It's a good guy. It's a good guy. I don't want to say we're besties, but you know, it's all good. Yeah, so no, I met him. Let's see, what are some tips on I did that one already. Instead of smoothing out, maybe losing some of the volume, could you use a morph target? And then if you decide to erase some just for the morph, go back to the original shape. Yeah, so I totally could do it that way as well. What I like to do is, because this has a lot of subdivisions, what does it have now? Let me see. I say a lot, it's not a lot. I think it has like 5, 6. All right. So because this has 6 subdivisions, what I can do is, let's say for the bicep, I want that to be more smooth, right? And let's say some of this detail on here, I like the texture of it, and I want to keep that. I usually just jump down to a lower subdivision level and then smooth it, right? Just to get that general shape how I want. Step up a little bit and then smooth that. Right? And then if I go back up to the top, I still have those, you know, directional lines, but the shape is a lot more uniform. So that's kind of the way that I do things. I could do it the morph target way too, but you know, this is just how I do. This is how I do it. It's Friday. It's not Friday. It's Friday for me. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. This is not water. It is, actually. All right. Pixelogic, Maxon, this is water. What did I miss? Something I've tried to learn from watching you is to work with separate pieces. I'm still struggling with that. I always end up making the whole body all together. So Keo, I do that a lot, and then I split pieces off, right? Like his gauntlet was just a duplicate of the other arm. And what I did was you can see how jagged this is down here. I just polygrouped it. I split hidden, and then I closed the holes and stepped up and added the detail. So, you know, there's nothing wrong, definitely nothing wrong with having something as all one piece. But if I'm working on something like the fur as opposed to the armor parts, I can have way less subdivisions unless I want to, you know, maybe add like leather texture or something with surface noise later. So I can keep those separate and then subdivide the crap out of the arm. And I have one piece that's almost 3 million as opposed to a whole body, which would be like 30, 40 million in order to hold these details. So that's why I do that. Where was I? Oh yeah, fur. Oops. And then once I get, oops, I made the brush too big. Once I get the fur that I like, I will do some more poly painting where I might select a cavity mask and get some color in there. I also, as you can see from this guy right here, I will paint in the cavities, you know, between the different muscles to accentuate those, because with the fur it gets a little hard to read in some places, right? So that's the name of that tune. The other thing too, now let's see, I'm looking at the way that this tricep kind of transitions in the back here, and it's too sharp for me. What I can do is step down. This is kind of what I was talking about before, and maybe kind of fill in that you know, area where it goes from, you know, being bulbous to flat. Step up a little bit, do it again, maybe smooth it a little bit, right? I just want it to be a little more natural. Okay, and then when I step up higher, if I'm careful, I can keep the fur and it doesn't look crazy, right? Now, because I'm not married to any of this fur, I can just kind of sculpt in. I can sculpt in some of this up here as well. With this guy, because it's a fur texture, I can do a little more sketchy style of laying in these strokes than I normally would. So that's fun as well. One thing I don't want is just a really, really, I don't know, like shapes. Like I don't want smooth, like here's a bubble and there's another bubble, another bubble, another bubble. And, you know, when I'm looking at these bodybuilders, the muscles aren't really uniform. They're kind of lumpy in places, you know, and some of that comes from the veins. But, you know, some is from striations, some is just the way that the muscle actually is, you know what I mean? So I like to have that look in my sculpts as well, because it makes it feel a little more natural and less, you know, cartoonish. Again, the whole point of this guy is to have one of my favorite cartoons as a dope statue that looks real, that I could have and my grown adult friends could come over and not make fun of me for having like some kitty statue of Lion-O, you know. And I'm a grown man, like I ain't worried about what anybody's thinking about me, but I'm just saying. I'm gonna print this thing, I want it to look good. And maybe somebody from XM or Prime One will be like, oh my gosh, it's fresh. We got to get that guy on board. Yo, Mike, what you doing? I'll be like, I don't know, what you doing? I wouldn't say it like that. All right, what was I doing? Oh, brush for the fur. So what I can do now is just click on brush and go back down here and grab the brush I had. I used to search for my brushes all the time because I switch so often, and that was kind of a waste of time. So I just do it this way. Now, kind of following these strokes that I just laid down, I'm laying in more of the fur, and it gives me more of the look that I want. What I don't want is like a crosshatch kind of a look. So if I find that I'm getting that and it's too visible, I'll smooth it out and start again. I'm interested to see how popular this video is going to be, right? Because I know that when I do the here's something from nothing, like I get a lot of views on those. I don't know that people have the patience to look at the detailing part, but it's a pretty important part, you know? I think. I think there was a night I watched Eric Sosa just sculpt individual hairs on Magneto this one time, and I learned a lot from that. I was like, okay, so I know he has a technique for this. I didn't know that it was sculpting the hairs one at a time. And I was like, okay, so I don't feel so bad now. I'm a fan of the process. All right, so you can see with just a little bit of poly paint in there and then following the contour of the muscles, it starts to look, kind of believable. Stuff. Rear. Let's see. Even with character with armor, you keep the asymmetrical. Yeah. So no. I will start off like I said. This guy began. This guy began in a pose like this, right? So I was able to go in and figure out the hard surfacey stuff in Symmetry and, detail that way. I broke the Symmetry not long after this though. And then since then I've been working on, things kind of in their own spot. What I could do for his kind of shin guards is, take those and center it back on the screen and straighten it out as best as possible and do one really good one and then place it, which I probably might do that actually. I might do it that way. I know for his shoulder piece, I'm going to use the stager because I used it that way originally and it was dope. I was able to go in and do a whole lot of detailing and then pop it back on his shoulder just by hitting the, switching from home to target stage. I think I did that as a layer and I did something that screwed up the stage. So I'll be remaking that, but I didn't spend too long on that anyway, so it's all good. This is all like reference I found on ArtStation, which some of this stuff is pretty cool, I like it. Wendell, thanks, man. Sorry, how is the name of the brush again? This brush is an it's actually called short hair brush, which is so generic. I'm sorry. Good luck finding that. I don't know where I got it. I just know I found it online somewhere and it was really fresh. But I would say start with Gumroad and there you go. Sorry, that's like the most generic name. Short hair brush. HL Exotic, what's up? Maybe. Maybe. I meet a lot of people, and I am right on the verge of senility too. I'm getting to be that age, so I don't really remember so good anymore. I tend to rush my sculptures, always finish projects in a couple of days. How long does it take you? You don't want to know, not a traveler. You don't even want to know. So this thing started, I'm not kidding, a year ago on Stylus League. You can go back now, go to, let's see. Over here, right? So if I go over to Stylus League and I go to the playlist, back when Danny and I were first starting this joint off, where Bradley was just not even doing stuff yet. This was April 23rd, 2021. All right, that's what it was. So I start stuff and then I lose track of it and I put it down. So you can't go entirely by how long, but I have a short attention span. What can I tell you? Oh no. That's a good idea. Saving is good. Do you work with Dynamesh for organic surfaces? Yeah, actually, sometimes when I find the geometry is fighting me, I will work with Dynamesh and then I'll ZRemesh. So perfect example of that is his little Speedo shorts were, they were giving me some issues. So I just Dynamesh them and then I use Sculptors Pro to clean up areas. And then when I like it, I will just ZRemesh. I do a lot of ZRemeshing after I play with things, so you know, what can I tell you? Maybe I'll do, you know, it'd be kind of cool. Maybe I'll do a where the hair is growing from, right? The crown. We're looking at the back of my hair, be where the hair kind of starts off as nothing. But I'm getting that. No, I don't want to do that there. I'm getting a cross-hatchy thing. I don't want that. Might have painted myself in a corner, you guys. Also, I'm literally the only person that's going to notice this. Nobody's going to notice this, but I will stay up at night like, yo, I have to redo this thing. 100%, I'm going to redo it because I messed it up. So, gives you a peek into my psyche. It's all bad. All right, so that's not bad. Right. Some places I will hold down Alt and kind of push in if I feel like the surface is too flat. So just switch it up a little bit. Turn off solo. Look, I'm gonna make a whole lot of nerds mad right now. I have the power. That's what he says, right? Isn't that what he says? Just kidding. I know he doesn't see. I'm so mad at you right now, Mike. I mess with Bradley. I like to mess with Bradley because he's a Dragon Ball Z guy, and I know this is another thing that's like sacred ground. But I like to pretend that I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z, and I call it Dragon Balls. I'm like, hey man, that's how it's pronounced, right? Dragon Balls? It's Dragon Ball Z, Mike. That's how Bradley sounds. minimize this a little bit. I feel like these are too long. Dragon Ball Z, Mike. I hate you. He says that all the time. I hate you, Mike. Tune in tomorrow for the brotherly love between M. Knight and myself. M. All Night. Comics legend. Thank you. Thank you. Andrew. Awesome. Thank you. Very interesting how you did the hair on the left hand. On the left hand. His gauntlet. That was just time taken. So I can talk about it now, you guys. There's this thing I did with Intel that's going to be coming out soon that was fun. Like, I'm not even kidding. First of all, I got to paint, but I started with a sculpture and then I did a paint over. So this led me to thinking, you know what? I saved so much time working this way. Maybe what I'll do for my Gnomon class that I have coming up, or video series, whatever it's called, is I'll do that. I'll do like a sculpt and then a paint over. Because like there's a whole bunch of dope sculptors. You don't need to look at my stuff for that. But it's not a whole bunch. I mean, there are people that do it, but not as many people who use a sculpt to, you know, as a base for a paint over. Which is what I do all the time for like Hasbro and Marvel and stuff like that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, okay. Maybe a good idea to save. What do you think? Save as. You know, you can see how many iterations I have here. It's ridiculous, like gigs of iterations, because I'm so worried about messing something up. I'm sure if I opened up the base Lion-O, in fact, you know what? I should do that. You can see what it used to look like. It's come a long way, baby. What's up, Artful Nerd? When you sculpt on the model on the right, is it updating the model in full figure on the left of the full figure? Yeah, it's just reference. That's just reference. Yeah. There is a way to do that. There was a video about that, where you could have the reference get updated while you're sculpting on the right. I can't remember how you do that. I gotta reach out to Paul. I know. But that looks cool when it does that. I do like that. Yo, what's up? Yes, need to learn to work well like this. My PC is a bit old. Well, because I'm always thinking of limiting myself with the number of polygons. Yeah, I will tell you this. ZBrush is pretty awesome about working with the PC you have. Like, I've rarely run into performance issues with ZBrush, you know, unlike something that's more GPU intensive or something like that, you know. I really want to learn Redshift because I want to do like some really cool renders, which I have been doing in the past on Keyshot, but I've seen just some dope stuff in Redshift. And also, I don't know, maybe Maxon will give me a little love if I use the product too. So I think I might take look at some tutorials on that. Get it in there. Uh-oh. Excuse me, guys. This project with Infinity with Intel was pretty cool because I got to work with a number of brands at once, which is kind of a first for me. Usually it's kind of one at a time thing. That's gonna be coming out soon. And I got to go to LA. I haven't been there in a long time. If you're just tuning in, this is the me show. Me, everything me. I just talk about myself on this stream, you guys. What do you think? Is that a good thing? It's not. It's not good. Should be a us thing. All right. Is this figurine gonna be printed? Yeah. It's gonna be printed. It's going to be about the size of that cap. The cap back there. Back there, right? Back there. And the Iron Man. So quarter scale. And this gives you an idea of the size. This is the hand. So pretty big. Hey, let me know if any of you guys were at Comic-Con and you saw my Maul and Ahsoka. I haven't seen it. Oh, I did see it in person. Sorry. Maybe I didn't. Sorry, I didn't see it in person. I haven't seen it in person yet. But if you did, that would be cool. Let me know if you saw it. Super Dennis, hey man. Very calming to listen to you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, one of my favorite artists, Bob Ross, who would paint his tail off and have a really soothing, relaxing voice. So I modeled my career after that guy. Never was able to get like a dope afro like him, but he's pretty cool guy. He was a pretty cool guy. Rest in peace, Bob Ross. Hey, answered this question before, but where can I get the brush you're currently using? Thank you, and I'm not sure. I got mine from Gumroad, and I'm not even certain of the name of it. I'll look back through like my purchasing history, and maybe I got it a long time ago, but I'll see. Maybe I can like let you guys know. You can see it moves pretty fast though. I mean, all things considered, getting a lot done. If you guys like kind of the technique that I use for my work, and you're interested in kind of doing it on your own, on my link tree, I have a link to both my anti-venom tutorial. It's like over 10 hours of video and audio of the process, from, you know, just a very super low poly mesh to a high poly finished piece. Let's see. This thing, right? So it ended up being something like this. Started off being something like this. So anybody who's asking about how I, you know, when I break symmetry, how I keep details and all that, this is available on ArtStation if you go above on the link. And also, I have a mentorship where you can just sign up with me, and I will kind of teach you as needed what you want to go over, whether it be sculpting, illustration, whatever. How to be a dope person who who looks much younger than he is, if I'm being honest. I can teach you that. I'm good at it. So great thing about doing layers, and big shout to whoever reminded me to turn on layers on this, is that if I find that there are any areas that I don't like, I can, kind of selectively using the morph brush and layers, get rid of them and add back other detail. Or if I'm gonna print this guy, and which I am, and I find that the detail is not holding up because it's not deep enough in the model, I can duplicate that layer and kind of double up the way that you would when you're multiplying in Photoshop. So that's kind of nice as well. There's ways now with ZBrush to do it without that, but I mean, if you don't have to think about it, it's a pretty nice way to do it as well. Like I said, every once in a while I'll switch it over to Alt, so that I am digging into the surface as opposed to building up on it. Subtractive process as opposed to additive. There you go. That solves that problem. Switch it up. One thing that I don't want, I mean, probably people are like, yo, why are you doing it one little bit at a time as opposed to just doing a texture or an alpha or whatever? And the whole point of that is I want it to look, I don't want it to look like a texture or an alpha. I want it to look like it's something that could exist in nature. So, again, if you can do that with alphas and it doesn't look repeated, props to you. I am not knocking your sculpt game at all. I'm just telling you, for me, this is the way, in the words of the Mandalorian. You guys didn't even know I'd be dropping all kinds of little nerd verbiage up in here, but it's a bonus. You're welcome. Great thing about this is when I'm done doing this part and I do the cavity mask and add color, it's really gonna pop. So it gives me an idea of what to expect when I paint this afterwards by doing things like washes or dry brushing. You get some really cool effects. If you guys don't know, I came from a 2D background. I only started sculpting maybe like 7-8 years ago. I have been painting or drawing in some capacity for more than 30 years. And professionally, like more than 30 years. So, I like to take that, mentality into my sculpts. I've always been a big believer that one discipline helps the other. If you're a good painter, you have a leg up on sculpting, and vice versa. If you're a good sculptor, you can, kind of see what light is going to do in your head when you're painting. You can make your forms look really believable. So I've made my money, really, if I'm being honest, from being a painter. But I am a enthusiast and have gotten a few sculpting gigs from doing this. I'm just a fan of digital art, digital sculpting in particular. Good time to save. Save. Roseco. I watched an hour-long time lapse of a monkey god video, so people will watch it, I'm sure. Fan of the process. Yeah, me too. I'm a fan of the process. I love watching people do. Hey, thank you, whoever that is. It's up underneath the Stylus League. Thank you for the subscribe, you guys. Jason Welsh. I love art, man. Like, I love watching shows that have anything creative. Like right now I'm watching on Netflix like this Glass Blowing season 3, only because like my options are very limited when it comes to those type of shows. But waiting for the next season of Forged in Fire so I can watch people making awesome killing implements. That's kind of cool too. I like watching how the knives are made. I wish they had shows for like this, you know what I mean? Like this would be dope. Like imagine a sculpt off, but like on national television. That'd be crazy. Hey Maxon, holler at me. I got ideas. I'm an idea guy. Yeah, I'd watch that 100%. What is the longest time you've spent in a collectible? That's a good question. I spent a while on the Darth Maul Ahsoka piece for Sideshow, but I didn't have a super long time to work on it. I mean, I had like, I think 6-7 weeks. So that took a while of nonstop. I mean, like nonstop sculpting every day. But I generally get sidetracked and I will start something else. So not really long, but I have pieces that I started years ago. Like my Hulk, for real. I have this Hulk that I'm working on that I started the molding process more than a year ago. I don't even know if the silicone is still good anymore. But like I started molding this, oh Jesus, all over my face. And then I made one for the hands. The hands are huge. Huge hands. You know, I got his back. You see how big this guy's gonna be. He's gonna be freaking massive. But I get sidetracked and I don't finish anything. Right? Really big. Also, don't do this. If you have a really big piece, box model, I mean a box sculpt, I mean a box, what do you call this thing? Mold. Maybe not the best thing to do. This is like 40 pounds of silicone right here. And very expensive. Very expensive. So time management is something I need to work on when it comes to personal stuff. Clients, no problem. Myself, big problem. That's part of the reason why we started Stylus League, right? Like to tie it all back is the concept with Bradley and Danny and I was we spend all this time working on client pieces and we're not allowed to miss deadlines, which is understandable. But for our own stuff, it kind of falls on the back burner. It never gets done. So we have this show every Friday and, you know, we'll have guests on sometimes and, you know, they will determine what the, you know, what the theme is. And then we have 4 weeks to get it done or get as close to done as possible. Can't do it in 4 weeks, put it down because the next week we're going to start something else. And so that's why this one got pretty far along, and then I had to put it down and I moved on to paying stuff and, you know, other show topics or whatever. But it's good exercise. It's also good to invest in yourself. For real though. It's light. Let's move this around a little bit. It's also kind of bright. Let's turn it down a little bit. Let's try a render. And show me what you're working with. Show me what you're working with. This might still be on the default settings. I don't know. Ooh, I don't like that. You know what? Something. Oh, my screen is also locked. Yeah, something is not right with the render setting. So here. No, it's the filters. I don't want filters. Shadow. I wish there was a reset without having to reset ZBrush or initialize ZBrush, but I think I need to. Oh, no, sorry. I'm on the basic material, not my material. That's why. That's weird. All right, let's give it another shot. Render. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so see how down near his fist, it starts to transition and those hairs look kind of believable? And that's all just following the forms. So let's see what the back looks like. Yeah, that'll do. All right, let's see what's cooking with the rest of the body. There, not there. Let's just turn off solo. Okay, so just to keep folks' attention, for the part that I've already finished, what I would do at this point is do a little shading in the creases. Light. Let's turn off that rim light for now. Center up this light so it's vanilla, like right square in the middle. And all right, so I grabbed my standard brush. I have just color turned on and not add or subtract. So then I can kind of just go and get some shading in the folds of his muscles. And already I can tell that color, if I'm looking at the other one, needs to be a little warmer, perhaps a little lighter. Turn down the RGB a little bit. And that's really going to punch that muscle a little bit. I don't want it to be harsh, so, you know, I'm make the brush a little bigger. And I can always paint it back if it's too much. Thanks to everybody that tuned in today, for real. I mean, you guys, man, I really appreciate you. I noticed that views are kind of nice lately, so I'm happy that you come, and you know, in some cases I'm happy that you stay for a good portion of it. Then when I rotate, sometimes I can see that some places I've gone too far, so that's what I don't want to do. Very easy to go too far. Some instances I'll lighten it up, and hit some of those higher points. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now for the part down here where his arm is lighter, it doesn't make sense to paint that dark brown color. So maybe I'll go a little more towards the gray and just something slightly darker, so it's not too dark. This is what I do with the models that I actually paint. If you've been to my Instagram, I have an Iron Fist that I sculpted in a real graphic nature. And then I printed him and painted this way, where the shadows were, I actually used pastels after I laid down my base coat of paint, and crushed them up and used a brush to get in those shadows, and it just makes the piece pop like crazy. Like, it really helps. So why is this getting darker? I'm choosing a lighter color. I'm trying to. Yeah, there it is. And maybe it's the angle. And this is another place where, like, if I want this to be, you know, pop a little more, I can come up with a lighter color and kind of hit the top of it some. This, right? Which is, in retrospect, that's too much. Too much. I told you could do too much. I just did. All right. So his bicep, I know, is supposed to be all this light color. Let's fix that. And then it's back to sculpting again, basically. Mostly. What's happening here? This one? This one? What is happening? Am I painting with... I don't understand. It's weird. I don't understand what that's doing. That's so weird. All right, whatever. Whatevs. Oh, I haven't looked at the chat in a while. Sorry, guys. Let me look at this chat quick. Yeah. Now look how like plastic that hand looks compared to everything else, just because it doesn't have any, there's no skin pores, there's no fur on it. It's just like super duper vanilla, which nobody wants that. Unless you're a fan of vanilla. Do you know any sites or tools that realistically mimic how the muscles will pull and flex in post position? Yeah, go to what is it, Bodies in Motion, Bodies in Motion by why can't I remember dude's name? Like one of the best dudes. Somebody. Hold on, let me look this up. It's gonna bother me now that I can't remember dude's name, and it probably already was answered somewhere. Let's see, was it? Who does Bodies in Motion, guys? Whoever that is. MD Trader says very cool. Thank you. Tattoon. Hi, how are you, my Comic Con star? Oh, what's up? Thank you, Tattoo. Try to find it. Do you make hand-drawn sketches, concept before you sculpt something? Yeah, I do. And in fact, I just got iPad Pro M1, which I love. Can't even tell you how much I love it. And I will take just like a page like this and go and Procreate, just draw over on things I want to fix. That's how I knew to fix the gauntlet, make it wider, and the tips of the fingers on that gauntlet hand to make them beefier. So I make notes on my stuff all the time. Let's see if I have anything here that I did that. This one. Okay, not this one. Cancel. I do. Take my word for it. Don't ever question me. No, I do it all the time. I don't know what it is. Organization is my kryptonite, you guys. What's up, Doomer McGregor? Inspired me to make a statue. Thanks for that, man. Working on game models for too long gets me tired, drains my creativity, but I love texturing too. What about you? Ever worked on games? I have not worked games. I'd be terrible at that. I don't love like UVing, and I mean, I do it just enough to get by, but I don't love having to worry about topology. I'll use ZRemesher. If I need to properly go in and retopo something, that's not my favorite. I got a friend named Tony who that's his jam. He loves it. He's a weirdo like that, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Hey, thanks, Super Dennis. Tufan, what's up? Thank you. They're great. That's true. Maricat said hi. Hi, Maricat. Love a Nomen course from you. It's coming. It is coming. I gotta get started on the course soon. Like really soon, actually. What's up, Michael? How many of these fools know ThunderCats for real? How many of you fools really know? I mean, you say you know ThunderCats. Do you really know the 80s ThunderCats? Not this new stuff. The old stuff. Gonna be a original head ThunderCat fan. Lewis, hey Mike, first time here, join the chat. Love the work. Following you since early days, amazing process. Hey, thank you. Question regarding the materials for the belt logo. Looks transparent. So that is, I have this eyeball shader. I also got, I'm losing my voice. Sorry, guys. I got an eye shader that I also got from, I believe, Gumroad. And if I switch that material, it's called Wet Eye. It does this. So that's what I have on only the ThunderCat logo to make it look like it is, you know, doing that. Boom. Why is the little guy on the top of the right replaced with a boot? That boot actually was a piece of my ODB sculpt for Sideshow, and I'm in an area where Timberlands are a big deal. Like I'm in the Washington DC area, and we love Timbs for real. So I used that and made it my custom 3D gizmo deal. That's why that's replaced. That is why. Neo Newton says hello, or says ho. Oh, ThunderCats ho. Yeah, sorry. That's what they say. Feel the magic, hear the roy. Word. Don't get me started, Neo. Student just started with ZBrush, just wanted to know which brush you're using for those gray details. Anybody I can follow to learn ZBrush well? Well, you're looking at them, actually. Me. No, there's plenty of people. So many people, like, really just go to anyone on the ZBrush Live presenter page and check out their previous videos. I think this is like my 70 something video. This might be close to 80 now, you guys. It's crazy. Doing dumb amounts of videos. But if you go and look on my YouTube, which is in the link tree above, I have all of my ZBrush videos, Pixelogic videos, in one place. And there's plenty there to see, as well as like everybody on YouTube, right? A whole lot of really good people doing it. Doing it well. All right, what else did I miss? What's your favorite ThunderCast? ThunderCat, oh wait, you mean for the movie? Like if they did a live action movie? ThunderCast or ThunderCat? If you're talking ThunderCat, clearly it's gotta be Panthro. Gotta be Panthro. Is my favorite character. If we're talking about a cast, that's a good topic to talk about tomorrow night. Real, like, get interactive with it. If you come back to my stream tomorrow with Bradley and Raymac, and we can definitely talk about a live action ThunderCat show, movie, not show, because I saw a play where they did that and it was nightmare fuel, actually. Don't do that. I can do this all day. Isn't that what dude said in the thing? The Marvel Avengers play? Tablet. This is a Cintiq 32-inch that I'm using right now. And I love it. For real. To do a little bit of a curly curl. And then the bicep doesn't have nothing on it. Let's step down and smooth that out a little bit. Let's maybe get some vascularity on there, some veinage. Maybe some pores too. It looks like I'm painting with materials. You know what? Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah, look at that. I don't know how, but I was painting with materials at one point. So let's fill this with just a flat shader. Man, when I first was learning ZBrush, this drove me crazy. I would constantly have materials and color turned on, and I would paint on the model, and then I would never know how to get it off, and it looked just ridiculous. So if you turn on your flat shader, if you're like very new to ZBrush and you fill it, see, it just fills the material. That's what it's supposed to look like, all right? Then we go back and switch to any one of our materials, and it should switch back. There you go, like that. All right. Is this, oh, is this mine? It's weird, looks super flat. Maybe because I have the light right in the middle. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Okay. We'll render right quick. I still feel like I need to restart ZBrush. Something seems off as far as the render's concerned. It's not getting it for me. So I'm gonna save this. Save. Save, yes. All right. Save that. I'm going to switch to big head mode so I don't share anything I'm not supposed to. For a second, bear with me for a second. I'm gonna quit ZBrush. Close. All right, okay, there's nothing on here I want to worry about. Restart ZBrush. This is that thing I was telling you about that I did it in ZBrush first and then did a paint over my fish head guy. Load tool. I know. Important, never use Dynamesh. If you can't find the brush and if you have the orb brush, you want to just modify the orb line. Yeah, it's a good call. Neo's 47 years old. All right, I see you. I see you. I mean, I'm a little bit older than that, but I'll take it. Frame. Definitely take it. These kids today. Found the brush. It's called Short Hair Brush by Ryan. Yes, there it is. All right. Okay. Okay. Can I forward this? Copy. Boom. Yes, that's the brush. That is the brush. Scott Eaton was who I was trying to think of earlier. Yeah, definitely. How do I forget Scott Eaton? Really, for real. It's a rookie move. Dang, I missed a lot. Sorry. Jeez, I missed so much. I apologize, guys. Just saw the finished model on ArtStation. Why are you sculpting this right now? So what you saw on ArtStation was a paint over. All that fur was just painted. Now I'm actually sculpting it and I'm gonna print it behind me. That's why. Is paid brush. It's a paid brush. Probably, no, it's free. There you go, free. ThunderCats is my favorite. I got the Huey on 24 Pro. Wish I could do Lionel like that. You have any courses? I do, actually. I do. Go to the link above, the link tree / Mike T Artworks, and you can see stuff. Do you still paint these days or sculpt? Yeah, I just painted this thing actually for Intel, and I have a job coming up for a new season of a television show on television. Is that where they have TV shows? On cable. Yeah, the ZBrush Sculpt Off is basically like that. I'd like to have a show I could watch on TV like that, like every week. That would be dope. Is this a figure for printing or digital? Yeah, printing. You're probably gone by now. You're like, yo, Mike, this took so long to answer. It's funny because I'm a big fan of Uncle Jesse, and he'll come in and say what's up sometimes. And by the time I get to his thing, he's long gone. Mud says, really like the anatomical work you did. Inspiring work. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, check out my anti-venom tutorial. I do a lot of anatomy in that. A lot. Comic Legends. Thank you. Love you too, bro. Is there a way to get your brushes? I keep saying I'm going to sell the ones I have. I've made some. I need for Bradley to put it on the calendar. That's the only way I get anything done is when he's like forces me to do it. What's up, Anj? Sword Deep, what's going on? How's your NFT project going? It's going well. We just finished. I mean, as well as can be expected in this market, right? If I'm being honest. I'm not a millionaire. I thought I was gonna be a millionaire. Thanks. No, let me shut up. Anyway, yeah, no. It is the public sales are done, and now it's in the secondary market actually. So that's nice. How long would you say it takes for someone to get used to the ZBrush interface and features? Been using ZBrush for 1.5 years. Still get surprised at the features that come up. So I will be 100% honest with you. I had to take my favorite things and dock them to my UI because it's too much, right? It's too much to find everything. It does everything. I bet you I should take this call. Man, oh man. Oh man. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm trying to buy a house. Hold on a second. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, guys. I can't miss any of these calls or I'm going to miss out on this. I got my eye on this house, trying to get this house. You know what I'm saying? What did I miss? Scott Eaton, Mike, Scott Eaton. Yes, so far behind. Can't wait for the course. Clean. Can you do Akali, A-K-A-L-I from LOL? I don't know who that is. Who that is. ZBrush has the most complex UI. Master it one day. Yeah, you know what? So I'm not saying it is it can't be mastered. I'm saying that, like, much like Photoshop, it does a lot. So if I don't focus, I've got like ADHD for real. So if I don't focus, I'll spend hours doing something. And so I have to put stuff where I can quickly find it. And that's what I've done here. And when I'm teaching my class for CG Spectrum on Intro to ZBrush, that's the first thing I have people do is customize their UI so they can find things easily. MJ, what's going on? MJ, long friend of the Stylist League. Hello, what is a reference you use for biceps? Because I thought it was short muscle. Yeah, it's covered up by, it is a short muscle. This is covered up by the deltoid on my model. So it's not as long as I have it. Where is it? Storm. Just turn on everything. And the base. And the head. Where's the head? And the head. And the legs. And the legs. And the legs. So, anyway. This is how long I have mine. If you wanna say it's too long, you could say that. Found the brush. Okay, I already saw that. Thank you. Will look the Venom tutorial. Cool. Mike T in the house. What's up, B? Take your time. We're not going anywhere. I have a captive audience. How do you use ZWrap? Or do you use ZWrap? I have ZWrap, and I 100% have that on my list of things to learn. In fact, on the anti-venom, my buddy Bradley used ZWrap to redo the model for me. And I saw how easy it was, and I was like, oh, that's fresh. I need to do that myself. So it is on my list of things to do. I have so many things I gotta get down with that I just haven't done yet. It's sad. It's a sad thing. Good news is I'm all caught up on the chat. TJ Law, what is up, Trevor? Doxing you, son. That's his name. What's going on, man? Stop being a stranger. Scrub. Trevor and I are old friends. That's better. This is, yeah, so it doesn't look flat like it did before. It was like crazy flat before for some reason. Sometimes I will mess up my settings, or they just kind of go wonky and I'll have to restart ZBrush or initialize ZBrush to fix them. If you know what I'm saying. All right, so that's that. Let's see the other side. Let's go to, one thing I like to do, what I was talking about earlier with doing drawovers, is now I can, well, first let's do this. I'm gonna maximize this to the size of the document. So let's go a half. Okay, make this bigger. And you'll see when I post up on like the Pixo page on ZBrush or something, I'll have multiple angles, you know, to see the different different muscle groups or whatever on like the arm. And I just do it in here. I don't take it into ZBrush or Photoshop and do that. So I will copy this layer down here, bake it, create a new layer. Whoa, frame, it's big, right? Do my little rotate joint like this. Maybe turn on perspective for that. And perhaps I want the lighting to be different on this one, so I can like rotate it around maybe this way and take the rim light and move it around like this way. Right, and then render this. Like that. Okay, then bake it. Create a new one. So I just do this until I fill up the space. So like maybe, let's say on this one, you can tell the legs, I haven't touched them yet. They don't have anything going on, but I do have that other arm kind of figured out, and I have the gauntlet kind of figured out. So maybe I'll turn it this way, like that. Maybe like that, right? Say I want to do this for ArtStation. Render. And I already know the shoulder piece is garbage. I want to redo that. But I can sketch over it now once this is done. Okay, so now bake it. Another thing that you can do now, you know, it might be hard to read some of these areas because the background is almost what I have on him. So I'll do like a clown pass on that by going to my document and going to the background color, right? I'll just drag it up here on like this green screen or whatever, like that, all right? Then once that's done, it's important to now size this up to your actual size. So if I know that I want this thing to be about 4K, I will go and hit actual like that, and then export. Save this onto my desktop. Save it as a PSD and call this like ZB Lion-O. See what I did there? Haha! I'm nothing if not clever, you guys. Save as ZB Lion-O. Like ZB Live. All right. Then just open this up in Photoshop. Boom. That. Right. Double click on the background if you're not Photoshop users. Most people know Photoshop. Some people, surprisingly, like Bradley, don't. Bradley, I'm calling you out in front of everybody. Right. Then I'll select an area like that and go to select similar. Select similar, click like that. All right. Invert the selection and just make a mask. So now I can just make a new layer and fill it with whatever. Right, come over here, do that. And now I have something that's a little more dynamic, not quite as flat. And all right. So now what I would probably do now is, and I've done this, I do this all the time, right? So now I'll take this, make a new layer, fill it with white like that, right? Just turn down the opacity to make it look like a tracing paper. All right, grab my brush and then go to town making notes, right? So I might say, all right, well, I want this, instead of being a full piece, I want this to be more like, you know, this kind of a thing where maybe it has straps on the back. I did this with this zombie Captain America I did, and it saved me like infinite amounts of time doing it that way, right? Then I can kind of figure out, all right, well, what do I want going on this piece? You know, maybe it's doing something like this. The good thing about this is it's not expensive as far as time is concerned. You can literally just sketch to your heart's content. Maybe this part here is like a sleeve or something that kind of, I mean, it looks like a sock, right? So we probably wouldn't do this, but we could if we wanted to, right? So I can just sketch on here what I want. I can look at parts that maybe I don't like, you know? So if, as I'm looking at it, you know, I did want to do a extension of this piece. It comes down here, right? Maybe like that, and maybe there's straps that hold this down and go around his ankles. You know, as I look at that, I don't like it. Maybe it goes kind of like, you know, it's wrapped around like an ace bandage or something. I don't know. Like that. And then the toes are exposed. You know what I mean? So this is the way I do it. I know I don't like that. I want it to be much more like the ThunderCats lair lion or whatever that thing is. And I wanted it to be kind of like Homelander. Like, this is kind of dope, but it's too big. I don't want it to be that big, but I do like the Homelander piece. So let's go and take a look at Homelander. Pure Ref, by the way. I know I'm going to get people like, yo, what is that you're using? It's Pure Ref. So I like the graphic nature of that. It's like really, really cool. Now the bird plays into that a lot, but I'm sure that if I took my time and really thought about it, which I'm going to have to, this is why my pieces never get finished. I'm sure I could come up with a more clever kind of a version of, you know, this guy, you know, more graphic, whatever. Dun, 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 dun. You know, maybe it does something like this, right? And then this is what's on top of there. You know, good thing about it is I spent, what, 30 seconds as opposed to me going in and doing iterative versions of him, you know, ad nauseum and not getting anything done. And that happens, right? Like I'm guilty of that. So, you know, whatever. I was thinking it might be cool to have like some of those samurai style, you know, thick ropes that kind of come over this part somehow. I don't know what they're doing, but maybe I have some of those. Let's see what that looks like. I want them to feel like the Lord of the Thundercats. I don't want them to feel like just some dude, you know, some dude. So yeah, maybe I'm thinking that this part up here is boring and I want to add more detail to it so I can go and do whatever. And if it sucks, it sucks. I just erase it and start over again. The end. Good night, everybody. Let's see what else is going on. Getting called out. That's right. Simplifies the process, but you need to be a millionaire to buy the different meshes and textures. Crap, I don't remember what I was talking about. Ruben, remind me. Can you show us your shadow setting on the BPR render? Yeah, it's not all that, but I'll show it to you. It's more the material that I use that gives me this look. See the joy of drawing. Awesome. Awesome. Check it out. The Joy of Drawing with Darian McCrae. What's up, B? Doing well. Alberto's dude, take care. I was kidding. I'm not going anywhere. Not for another hour anyway. So if I go back to my normal background, right, which is just, I'm just eyedropping this thing. And then I go back to my AA half. And let's merge these. Yes, merge. Merge, yes. Clear. Hide. Draw a new one. T frame. Frame. Okay. All right. So if I go to the subtool and turn off, let's go to a color that's not white, but like a gray. If I turn off all of my color, you can see that I still have some nice shadows and I still have some nice specular highlights on here. That's because I took the basic material and I pulled some settings, right, to make that happen. If I go to just basic material, it looks like that. And to me, this feels a little more pearlescent. It reminds me kind of the, let's see, it reminds me of reflective plastic a little bit. And that's only because I'm so used to my settings right now. So if we render this, sure. Eventually, oh, you wanted to see my settings too. I'll show you those as well. Build more connecting and grab more knowledge regarding this field. Plenty of places to learn about. Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. I don't know why it looks like that. Let's see something. Why does it look like that? Turn off that rim light. Let's bring this up above. That's better. Light placement does everything. I just ordered a couple of really nice soft boxes so that when I stream now, I'm gonna have even better lighting at night. Like I see people with these really beautiful setups for their studio, and that's what I want. So totally gonna do that. I don't know why those straps are in color still, but they are. So yeah, now I can take this, and if I make it and create a new one, frame. Right, so now if I go to, this is why I'm not a fan of skin shade. I know people love skin shade 4. I'm not a, that's sketch shade 4. Where's skin shade? There it is. I know people are really into this, the waxy nature of it. Let me do a render of this with the skin shade 4. It's hard to really determine the forms for me when I'm doing this. When I'm painting, it's okay, but I just kind of stay away from it. That's just me. Is this doing anything? No, it's not. Render? There you go. I was talking about ZBrush. Ruben. Okay, Ruben's up there. Oh, the cost of it? Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, so for this is more graphic. It almost feels like one of those filters. It's a cool look. It's actually kind of cool look, but I don't know. Have I been wrong about skin shade for all these years? Oh, maybe it's cool. It's kind of cool, but not for me. I'm an old-fashioned dude. So if I go back to the modified basic that I have, it's mine. And then what it allows me to do is, because it's catching so much of that shadow, I can take my light and boost it up a bit higher, or turn on a secondary light and get a nice little rim without blowing things out. Should have kept that where it was. This is the one I want to move. Move this over here. Like that. So normally when I post up on like 10,000 hours of the Pixo page on ZBrush or whatever, I'm using this material just to do stuff, right? So now if I bake this layer, bake, you can see that it looks way too similar, actually. I don't know what's going on with ZBrush. Normally it blows it away. Well, you can see, no, in the forearms, actually, you can see the difference. You can see it. Don't mind me, I'm insane. Yes, merge, clear. Yeah, so let's go back to finishing that arm. See, this was just me kind of just wasting time because I got tired of doing fur. So let's go back to the arm. There it is right. Yeah. Why is that back? Subtool, layer, oh, clear. Clear. T. Solo frame. There you go. Yeah, so like if I take that. Okay, and I go back to the regular basic material, it should look wildly different. There you go. That took way too long. Sorry, guys. You know, I might not put hair on these, on the hands. Be nice to mix it up a little bit. Maybe I don't want it to look simian though. Maybe I will. I'll put there. Having the internal struggle externally. Probably should finish a little more detail on these fingers. Just a little more. Sorry. Did I poly? Nope. Now, too many times I've gotten stuck in the vicious cycle of sculpting hands in Alive, and I don't want to do that. It's been way too much time. I'm just going to detail this enough to get fur on here and it doesn't look crazy. So, if you see me do hands and I'm like, not again, apologize. If you haven't seen me do hands, you're welcome. You know what makes sculpting hands easier? Looking at hands. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at some hands. Not on this one. This guy. Killing it. Get rid of this rim light too. It's making it hard for me to see what's going on. So over here, that's much better. And again, if you guys are enjoying this, please give me and Bradley a follow on Stylist League, subscribe to that, and check out our show tomorrow night. It's very fun. The guests are great. We've had some heavy hitters already. You can go back and watch those on the Stylist League YouTube. We've got Raymac this week, and we're working on Disney's Robin Hood, actually. I think this might be the last week. And then we're going to have somebody else. Before that, we had Brendan Isaiah Binkton was working on Warhammer 40K with us. We had Pavlovich on working on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In fact, the turtle that he started on our show is the one that he did that tutorial for using Substance Painter, I think. He finished it up on his thing. So you never know who's going to come by the Stylist League to join us. It's a much more intimate setting too, right? So all your questions get answered. It's less people. It's less hectic. We don't have to necessarily only talk about ZBrush stuff. So it's all good. And buy my book. I don't have a book, but buy my tutorials for real. Seriously. I'm trying to get this house, you guys. I need for you to help me out for real. Your donation can help a middle-aged can help a middle-aged man get into a house for only, shut up, that's not cool. This part, not even gonna really see it, but again, I can't not do it. I gotta do this part. I'll know it's there. It's not right. What are we even doing here, you guys? Also, thanks in advance, YouTube, for not like beating me up on anatomy stuff with the hand. Like, oh, the middle tarsals are actually not exactly in the right place. Every once in a while, I get that. I don't love it. I gotta tell you, I love it. Really don't like it when you're right. If I'm being 100% honest. So, ignorance is bliss. If you've ever seen The Matrix, that's the takeaway. Give me the steak. I want to eat porridge. All right. So that's kind of it. Let's do a little bit of detail in here. I said I wasn't going to do hands. I'm sorry, guys. Got to do this, man. Kind of good to go. Kind of. Now the sword's going to be here. Jeez. While you have the sword visible. You'll see I do a lot of rotating because it's very easy for me to lay down strokes in one area and think I killed it. and then I'll turn it and it looks ridiculous. So always turn your model, you guys. If you're new to sculpting, that is something that will really help. And it had some really good tendons a second ago. Where are the tendons at? I like the veins on that. Maybe. Let's see. Thumbnail would help too. Let's do that real quick. Tool, subtool, extract. That's a lot. Down thickness. I wish I could set it to a thickness that would always be at when I do it. All right. Except. Delete hidden. Let's go to deformation. Where is that? Deformation. Geometry. Deformation. What I miss in the chat? Let's see. Man, how did I miss these many already? That's insane. How long does it take for a project of this size? If I'm doing it per client, probably around like 6 weeks or so. Like to really get it right and with revisions. Not that long. Too flat, best material for sculpting. I mean, I like mine, Aaron. That's why I made it. But what if I had to use something out of the box? Probably. For sculpting. The blend is nice. It's a little shiny, but you know what? I'm liking the blend a lot, actually. He might love the pose. Nice touch, how he's holding the sword. The gesturing and the claws is very strong. Hey, thank you so much. Can you suggest some good channel to join on Discord? Yeah, Stylus League. Go to the link above. Join our Discord on Stylus League. Join Ian's IR Sculpts Discord is great. There's a lot of really good Discord stuff. But first, before you go to Ian, go to mine first. Then go to Ian's. I think Anna has a new one. Anything Ashley does, join it. Am I Brazilian? No, I am not Brazilian. How about the material talk? About the material talk. Now I'm used to turn on and off AO preview. I'm not a fan of the AO preview. I don't use that. Don't like it myself. And that's only because it is, it's very easy to use that and get a false sense of security and then find out that the detail you think is there is not there. I know my buddy Tony Gore was a fan of the AO preview, but not me. You know what I mean? That's just me. Some people love it. Boom. Oh, too much is on. Too much is on. Let's turn off everything but the hand. Let's see. You can see I have all of these subtools. That's what I'm not looking forward to. If I wanted to take this into like a tool bag or something like that to do some cool renders, turntables and things like that, I would have to name all that stuff and order it. And, you know, if I want to take it into Substance Painter, I got to give everything UVs. So I've been putting it off. I know for a fact it's going to be a print. Beyond that, I would really like to get a nice, like a nice render as well, but I don't know. Now I do want his claw on his actual hand to look different than the claws on his gauntlet. And I'll do some of that with the, you know, I could have just copied one of those claws. Work smart, not hard, guys. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna make that look different. Also, get out of my way, man. I need to make a whole new I need to make a whole new grouping with just the right arm. I could have just turned off everything except for the arm and turned that back on. That would have been a lot easier than turning them off one at a time. Again, don't do what I do, guys. Do it the right way. That being said, why don't you come take my mentorship? So I can teach you how to not turn off layers in the right order and make life really hard. I'm joking. It's a great class. Just ask anyone who's taken it. Many times I can tell you. Awesome. Just kidding. Just all right. All right, so I want these to be smaller and probably less twisted. I'm using Sculptors Pro right now just to get the basic shape, and then when I like it, I will I'll just use the remesh to retopo. Maybe I'll make these wider, and then that way they don't look like the gauntlet nails so much. You know what could be cool too? I think I'm gonna pull them up high into this part like that. You know, when you look at cats, the nail kind of goes all the way up into the skin like that. It's gonna differentiate it from the gauntlet a lot. I want it to not feel like he has one big hand and one little hand. Like I want that gauntlet to feel completely different. Off that, turn off, or turn up lazy mouse. Maybe, you know what, maybe I don't change the nail, change the hand. Kind of did something like this on my Venom as well, but you guys aren't going to tell anybody. Hand's kind of done. I think I'm gonna call it a day on the hand, and then I can add a little fur to it. First, I'll save in case I decide I want to go tackle it again. Maybe I'll make a new layer too. I think that'd probably be smart. That's a good thing about layers is this is a part where I might decide that I want to continue to sculpt details on the actual hand itself, and if the fur that's on top of it is a layer, I can turn that on. I can turn that on or shuffle the order of it so that it's a little more apparent as well. All right. So now what I would do is get this as close to the shape that I want, and then retopo. And I know for a fact that I want there to be a, let's turn on this for a second. I want there to be a seam really here. So there's a top and a bottom so that I can just detail it later. So if I sculpt that in, then retopo, it's gonna respect it. All right, so now let's take this. Let's make it one polygroup. Let's actually group the bottom. Okay, and now let's go to, let's save, maybe save. I haven't saved in a long time. Save as. Yeah, save way more often than I've saved, you guys, for real. Unless you don't mind losing your stuff, because you never know. 100% give me the steak, that's funny. Exactly. No. Hey, listen. That's a good call. That is a good call. I think once this fist is done, I'm gonna put it in the file and do exactly what you just said. That's a good call. Can you suggest some good channels to join on Discord? I think I did that already. We need that Alpha. Respect, bro. You improved greatly. Hey, thank you, Skyhand 110. Can you? Oh, wait, did I keep saying that over again? I did answer that, right? AJ, what do you do when you get bored on a project, start another keyboard? Yeah, I have a folder of misfit toy sculpts that just kind of don't do anything. So it's not the way to go. The good news is I can always pull one out and get started on it again, you know, especially for this stream. It's not a bad deal. I got a lot of stuff to pull from. All right, let's remesh this real quick. And it's already, I mean, it's not very big, but it's just, I like orderly geo. So I will say, turn that down, turn that up, keep groups, detect edges, and I can do smooth groups and ZBrush, see what happens. AO is fake lighting. Is there a way to change sculpture's resolution besides changing the size? There is. You know what? I'm not. I know there is. It's under the settings for Dynamesh, but I don't use it, so I couldn't tell you. You know who's a boss at that is Pavlovich. I'm sure he has a video. Or there's got to be an Ask ZBrush with Drust or Ian that tells you how to do that. Oh. Oh, that's a different question. Do you have a course in which you show the use of Photoshop to process? Yeah, so that is what I'm going to be doing for Gnomon. I'm sure that Insane Pixel says Pavlovich already has one. Michael Pavlovich is the Simpsons of ZBrush. Like, he's already done everything, so definitely check him out. But that's what I'll be doing for Gnomon, is a sculpt with a paint over. 100%. What's up, Insane Pixel? Ron, hey, you Mike, what's up? Etherealistic. Hey, Mike, I've been working on becoming a 3D artist almost 2 years now. Mostly self-taught. Was wondering how much did going to university help push the direction you need to go? I didn't go to school for this. I actually have a degree in graphic design, which didn't help with my illustration either. But you know, you don't necessarily have to go to school to become good at this or anything really. Sorry, parents. Yeah, there's plenty of ways to get good at it. Get you 10,000 hours, you'll be a boss. Say half, ZBrush again. How many years did it take you before you finally started getting paid for your sculpting skills? So that's the thing, after Realistic, I didn't really have any eyes on sculpting as a career. I was really kind of thinking I was going to be an illustrator for the rest of life. Mostly because I'm a big fan of guys like Drew Struzan and, you know, Ernie Barnes, Norman Rockwell, a whole bunch of contemporaries. And so I really just wanted to do movie posters, which I've done a few, and toy packaging and, you know, stuff like that. So I'm checking things off my bucket list. Sculpting, I started sculpting because I needed reference for my paintings. And that's why my class is called illustration by way of sculptor. My, not class, but my, you know, my thing. Because I am an illustrator who is recently a sculptor, and now I get paid to sculpt. I loved it so much. So that's, yeah, that's it. Hey, Mike. Hey, what's up? Check out his tutorials. Yeah, Pavlovich. Man, geez, that guy. I always tell people, Mike Pavlovich has forgotten more than I will ever know. Like, that's what it is. When it comes to ZBrush, nobody's messing with Mike. ZBrush, yeah, all right, cool. So you might be asking yourself, why is he spending so much time on this nail? I just wanted to get some clean topo, right? Which, boom, done. Right, now what I could do also is I could mask that top part, right? Let's do a holding edge, actually. Let's do an edge loop. There you go. So now I'll just mask everything but the bottom, and I can go polish by features. Nope, polish by groups. Kinda. Smooth out that, ooh, not with Sculptures Pro. Sorry, smooth out the bottom. Get it looking more naily. It's a word. nailish. Yeah, boom, like that. Alrighty then, cool. So that's what I would do. Now, if I really wanted to get kind of extra with it, I would probably do something like, let's grab this end, give it a little bit of a blur. Oh, come on, come down here. A little bit of a blur, center up on this part right here. And I know I can use my deformers as well to do this, but I just want to pinch this end a little bit, like that. Thing I like about ZBrush, there's a million ways to do everything. There's no wrong way. So if you ever have anybody who's like, oh, you did it wrong, tell them to kick rocks, man. There's no wrong way to do stuff in ZBrush. And there are people who really enjoy telling you did it wrong. They're not your friend. Listen to Mike. I'm your friend, guys. They're not real friends. All right. Oops. All right. Mike, you spent more time on that nail than the rest of the hand. It's true. It's true. Doesn't make any sense. All right. So now the one thing I will tell you is that because I am going to print this, I want all of these surfaces to be watertight. I want them to penetrate each other. So I can come over here. Let's slide this down here. Kind of square it up with this. And also bring it down here. And then kind of pull this down. And what that's going to do is it's going to penetrate the finger, and I don't have to worry about there being a gap. I don't want that gap. All right. So anyway, got some pointy nails. That being said, let's get back to the hair. What I will do, actually, let's do this. I'm going to copy that nail. We were just talking about working smart, not hard. Let's duplicate the nail. Okay. All right. Now we'll move this over here. What I want to have is some tufts of hair that kind of are on the wrist. So bear with me for a second. I got to figure this out, you guys. It's going to start off crazy. Everything starts off crazy with me. And I may see this and be like, ah, this is stupid. It's possible. I'm going to split unmasked. Oh. Oh wait, is this? Oh, I duplicated it. Oh, sorry. Never mind. So just kind of copy this and maybe rotate it a bit. Make it down a little bit. Just want to have some random tufts of hair that are here. Widen this one a bit. So what I want to see, and the scale of these might be crazy, might be way too big, but what I want to have is something similar to that gauntlet. Let's go back to the gauntlet. Hey, streaming bro, let me hit you back. All right, peace. Gauntlet. All right, let's do this in. It would help if I had color. I can't see what's going on here. Don't you crash. Don't you die on me. All right, there you go. All right, got color in him. In. So I'm doing it. Never man. Gauntlet. There it is. Boom. I don't know why my screen locked. What's happening? I don't know what's happening, guys. It's weird. What's happening here? That works. All right. It's nightmare fuel right there. This was the original lino, by the way, this guy. So you see he's come a long way. I don't know why everything is on. Why did I turn on everything? Turn that off, turn that off. Okay, turn off this arm. I don't want that on. It's hot in here. Oh my gosh. Hold on a sec. I need air. $76. No. I don't even know what that is. That's turned off. Everything that I don't want on is on. Let's turn that off. Oh. There you go. Okay. What did I say I was doing? I was looking, oh, the tufts of hair. Yeah, so I have some of them over here already. I will duplicate those because nobody's gonna know. If you tell anybody, I'll kill you. Don't tell anybody. I would never do that. All right, I'll just copy these, put them on the other side. Right over here. This is essentially kind of the look that I want, but you know, not quite so big, garish. Let's calm it down a little bit. W. T. Hey, if you guys are free tomorrow, I'm doing an interview with Sideshow Collectibles. So I don't know where it's going to be. I will post on Twitter what time it's going to be and all that. But they are going to be talking to me about the ODB piece. So that's going to be fun. And I can't even tell you how big of a fan of Sideshow I am. So for them to say they wanted to do that was like, that was amazing to me. Now, if I can just get a superhero job from them, that would be nice too. So anyway, the whole deal is it's going to kind of look like this, but it's going to have the right color on it. Right, so it looks like he has a bit of a furry kind of a thing transition going on. Do I like that at all? Not that way. Not like that. Not like that. More like this color, but with fur texture. Auto groups. Let's divide this a bit. So this is how I got the longer hair. If I were to mask, not even mask, let's just hide the rest of them. And they did that because I auto grouped. Then I went and just kind of figured out like an irregular kind of a shape to this. Looks a little more like fur and less like nothing. Sorry if I haven't answered the chat in a while, guys. I know I'm running out of time, so I want to get something on paper here. If I miss any questions, and you really want to know something, like I said, click the link tree above. you can either reach out to me, you know, like just that way, or join me tomorrow, even better, in Stylus League for our live stream. It's our last week with Raymac, and Bradley and I will be in there working on Disney's Robin Hood. So join us and ask me whatever you want to ask. Brush, mic brushes, people, hair. This one. All right, this is Pablo's brush set, by the way. Pablo has ZBrush guides, and I really like his brush set. So what I've been doing is selecting a few and kind of just going in. Now you see, you got to have some resolution here, so I'll just divide this. Oh, I have to show everything. Divide. All right. Now, obviously, it doesn't make sense to have millions of polygons on a little piece of fur tuft, but But when I do, I can Dynamesh it. Not Dynamesh it. I can. Sorry. I can. What's it called? I can. There's a word. Wait for it. Decimate it. Yeah, I knew it started with a D. There you go. Right. And so by holding Alt and kind of just sketching in this, I can dig in and I can add to it, and I can make it feel more like it's coming out of the existing fur. And then maybe I can sculpt around it, the hand, to also kind of build up areas and make it feel like it is, there's fur there as well. What I found with hair in my, very short exposure to it is that if you have a built up kind of a base already, it looks a lot better. Like it just kind of feels more natural, right? So maybe he's got like, instead of having these things separately, maybe it makes more sense to sculpt them in. In fact, there's no maybe about it. It does make more sense. Right. That. And then once I like that, I go back to my stylized airbrush by Pablo. Just kind of detail it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's some fur right there. Shout out to Pablo. King among men. Yeah, much better than having like little separate things. So listen, it's good to learn that, right? So now I'm looking. I would probably go ahead and end up dynameshing this back together and screw up my geometry. Why do it? Don't even do that. Let's just delete it. Delete it. Gone. Bye. All right. I don't know why those other arms keep popping up. Alrighty. There's that. All right. So we're getting there. I can just kind of go in and restyle some tufts. This is also another one of those things where it probably makes more sense to use layers, because if I have something I already like up here and I don't want to be destructive, I can just use the morph tool, or I can turn it off on the layer. Like, really, I don't know why I'm still doing this. I should be doing it with layers. There's no question. Let's get some veins on his arms. I think that's going to make him look better. What happened to my color? I thought I painted that part already. That's weird. It's weird. All right. Let's paint it again. Second time is a charm. Maybe I didn't save it. So I want it to feel like You know, when you look at your cat's stomach and the color is different. And it's shorter. The sleeve is confusing without the chest, really. It's like, yo, why do you have that half thing there? And you can see the chest isn't even like the chest and the neck. That's not even done being detailed before I get to the hair. Like, this is all something that it was good enough for me to post up pictures, but you can clearly see like there's parts there that are just placeholder, right? Those neck muscles are crazy. Oh, there's that other lion head, by the way. I don't know why everything turned on, but you see how that one, so I'm gonna have this as a switch out head. So one will be more just like straight up lion, and the other one is gonna look a little more like human lion, kind of a hybrid thing. I think just the width of the nose makes it feel much more like a actual lion to me. Let's cut that off. Let's cut his other hair off. There you go. Yeah. Belt. Right. Okay, so we're getting there. Getting there. Hey, thanks, Insane Pistol. What would you say is the best way to study anatomy? Study it. Have tons and tons of it that you constantly refer back to. Like, this is one of my boards. I have statues like all over the place. And actually draw and sculpt it. And the more you do, the better you're gonna get. Like, I went and redid his back a couple times. This is not even supposed to still be here. You're not even supposed to still be here, dude. Let's throw this away. Delete. There you go. Yeah, so I wanted his arm to look like it is pushed up against his side and flex the back muscles. So if I turn off, let's turn off this shoulder piece here. It's on arms. All right, let's turn off this stuff. And that. Right. I kind of like the sleeve there. Fix this. This is why I tell you nobody will see this part, but I gotta fix this part. It's driving me crazy. Here you go. Bothers me. Sorry. Yeah, and that's where I don't even know that goes all the way down there. It doesn't. That's a problem. Okay. I think the strap is there. That's why I didn't notice it. All right, so if we go back over here. Hey, go on. All right. And turn off the sleeve. You know, I kind of like that sleeve without the little metal piece. I might even rock it without the metal piece. But yeah, and then let's turn off the armor part here. All I did was paint his back, by the way. So let's turn off that stuff. Boom. Like that. Come down here. And you see that if I go and just fill this with this color fill. Right. I was trying to make it feel more like you know, more realistic with the fat folds and the muscle kind of being affected by the triceps pressing into them. All right. Is it perfect? No, not at all. I'm sure people who are real anatomy heads will look at this and be like, yo, that's crazy. You messed this part up and the insertion points are wrong. And those guys are out there, right? God bless them. But I'm not that guy. I couldn't even tell you the name of this big muscle right here. I think it's called a bicep or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, no, I'm not that guy. I just want it to not look crazy when I print it. sleeve go? Yeah, I might, like, for real, I might not use that shoulder thing. I might just have the sleeve. Let's see. Unless I can come up with like a compelling reason to have that, I might just rock the sleeve like he's just rocking a sleeve. Like, what? This is what I look like. I don't know, I kind of like it. Maybe I'll keep it. I just need to resculpt that part right there because it looks not so good. Now going back to the sketch that I had, like I 100% want to add the ropes and figure out how to do those. And I definitely want to fix the leg. Maybe I'll work on that after the stream today. I'll do a little bit of that, like that. He definitely needs this going on. That sock part is stupid. Like, he doesn't need that. That was just me playing around. But I gotta tell you, oh, maybe the sock, maybe I keep some of the sock part. Let's see. This is why it's good to sketch. We just sketching. Right. Maybe I'll have some of that. And then the wraps down around his ankle and then extend the thing. Then he just doesn't look like, you know, Roman warrior guy. So yeah, that's that. Constantly going back and forth between Photoshop and ZBrush. One thing I've been spending a lot of time on over the past couple days is this Gauntlet, though. Like, I really wanted that to feel like it's different from his hand and his arm. So that's where we are with this. I'm doing on time. About another 10 minutes. All right, what I miss? Ebony, hey Mike, any tips on sculpting a fist? Do you recommend having the fingers polygrouped or keeping them all uniform? Definitely. Polygroups is the way to go, right? You're going to want to isolate areas and mask them and hide areas. And if I really were not pressed for time, I would go in and have polygroups for all of these fingers. It was not fun doing them without them, I'll tell you. You can do it. I wouldn't suggest it. It's just smarter to do it the other way. Is it possible that in the same design you can configure the different parts with different materials so that the metal things look like metal and the organic things look like organic? Yeah, I just watched a video on this actually right before I came in. I used to do this all the time. So like, let's say I just split his fingernails off of the Gauntlet and I closed the holes and I assigned a new a new material for that, right? So if I cut off this and just look at this without anything, right? Here is why local is turned off. That was driving me crazy. I'm like, why won't my stuff spin and stay in place? All right. If you ever get that problem, local symmetry or local is turned off on your machine. So with this, I wanted the fingernails to be shiny. I wanted everything else to be matte. And at first, I just kind of selected them and changed the material. And what happens is, if you don't have enough geometry, it's very easy to see that break because the material's only applied to the polygroup itself. And it's not like you can paint it on like really precisely unless you have like a lot of subdivisions there, like a high definition piece. So you can, I just saw, change the, is it under modifier? No, not modifier. It's not even under materials. I just watched Joe Drust do a video. Look up, what was it? He has a video on selecting materials and swapping it out to something else. Like, so I wanted to know how to do an eyedropper to select a material that I've already assigned. So if I turn off the if I turn off the thing, I don't know, it's late, man. Yeah, so if I come back over here and I turn off solo and I say, all right, well, these nails are shiny. I'd like for them to be applied somewhere else, but I don't remember what that material is. What I can do is if you go over to your material little swatch over here, you can click and drag and see how it has a picker and it is going over everything, and see how everything is kind of changing as I hover over it. So if I go over here to these nails, it's changed it to toy plastic. And now what I could do is if I want to go back to this nail that I had over here, this one, nail, solo it out, right? Now I can fill it. If I go and select the M, I can fill it with this material. And then I can switch back to my regular startup. And I have it in the right place everywhere else. So the thing of it is, I knew you could eyedropper to get colors. I thought you could do materials, but I didn't know how to do it. So I had to just go watch Joe's video. In that same video, he shows how you can change the threshold of, let's say on this arm, I only wanted this area here to be metallic, right? So I could go in, grab Chrome, and I could select my material and I could color fill this part and then switch back to whatever, right? Oh, wait, color, wait, did it not fill? Chrome, material, fill, object, fill, okay. Then switch back to my startup. Why is it not? It's weird. It's supposed to work. You know what? I can paint it on. Let's just paint it on. Okay, so if I select just material, cut off the add, go back to this reflective foil blue chrome ball, I can paint this part in. See how it changes color, right? Looks different. And I'm doing just the material. Now if I switch back to startup, see how now it looks like that? That's still not right. It's like an alpha's being applied as well. Why is it doing that? Let's try orange. Let's turn off that and material selected. Now I should be able to paint this in. I don't know why it's doing that. That's weird. I don't know what that is. Do I have a mask applied to this? I don't. I don't know, guys. It's not supposed to do this. Maybe, you know what this means? It's time for me to save, because that's not what's supposed to happen. Save as. Save. Yes. Anyway, what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to apply the material locally in just that area, but it doesn't look great. So if I wanted those nails to be metal or shiny or whatever, but I didn't want the hand to be shiny, unless I have, like this has almost 3 million polys to it, just the arm. If I brought it down to here, right? 2.8 or 2800, and then I tried to paint a material on here, it would look like hot trash. So let's just try it. Try this one more time. I don't know why it's not working. But let's paint. Is it painting? It's supposed to be painting, right? Then go back to startup material. It's not working. Whatever. Anyway, it's not me, you guys, I promise you. Let's, oops, I didn't mean to do that. going to answer what I can. Whatever I miss, go up to the link tree above, subscribe to Stylist League on YouTube and our Discord. Ask me tomorrow night. I'll answer your question. All right, it's just how, so that's awesome. Definitely be listening. Oh, excellent. Okay. Ebony, hey Mike, any tips on sculpting? Oh, I already answered that. Same design you configured. Oh, I just answered that. Still looks good. Placeholder not. Where do I pre-order? This one, you know what? Let me print mine and then holler at me for real, because I wouldn't mind doing a few of these for like a private, little private collector thing. Cool texture on sleeve. OMG, amazing. Hey, thank you, Emmanuel. Stealth should be larger than the max proportion of the forearms. Not on mine, it doesn't. Maybe on your Skyhand 10. I'm happy on mine. I'm happy, son. I'm gonna leave it just like it is. This is me not taking any criticism. I'll look at it. I'll take a look. What's the difference? What is the reference board you're using? It's called PureRef, P-U-R-R-E-F. You can download it. It's open source, so they don't charge you, but if you really like it, you can kick them some bucks, and I'm sure they would appreciate it. I am sure. Just about out of time, so I'm going to show this whole thing. Let's do a little rotate around him. Turn on the base. Pump up the base. Let's get some good lighting. All right, so now what I would do if this was me, and it is I would do screen grabs. Let's move it over, do turn around. And then I can take it into Photoshop and do draw overs of the areas that are problematic or need to maybe be readdressed or whatever. Right, so save that. Then I can go over to my document, make it actual size, hit export. Let's say ZBL latest. Oh, I'm saving it in the ZBrush, and I want to save it in Photoshop. And save, yes. All right. Now I can just kind of open this up in Photoshop, frame it up, and then just take a look around, see what's what. So I might decide, okay, proportions here, a little whack, maybe that deltoid that Skyhand 110 was talking about needs to be referenced or fixed. I can do that. Should I start sculpting in A pose and then transposing? That's what I do. That's what I do, Sora. But I mean, again, you might decide you want to use an auto rigger, or you might want to learn rigging in Maya, or maybe you want to be able to keep your A pose and then have multiple poses. Like, I'm not going to tell you the right way to do it. There is no right way to do it, but try it. You say you did try it and wasn't that reliable. Try it again. Oh, posable symmetry. Yeah, no, same. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with posable symmetry myself. Select material fill. Material fill? Did I miss that? What was I doing? Color? Color? What do you mean material fill? I usually select the material and then I do color fill and it fills it. Holler at me tomorrow, Insane Pixel. Let me know what you're talking about. Sorry, that's a great way to sculpt. Yeah, that's happened before. Definitely save time. Probably RGB and material. No, I had material selected. Why is that? Because having recording. That's exactly what it is, Mike. That's exactly what it is. I was recording layers, and it doesn't. Material fills don't want to work right when you do that. And color fills act crazy sometimes too. Yeah, Mike Almeida for the win. That's exactly what it was. Tron. I use paintbrush. It wasn't me. Check. Did you get those clean seams in the armor? That is that Z-mod? No, that is just damn standard. That's just damn standard up here. Now that part down there, these were poly groups for the parts that kind of go like this at like angles, the big parts. And I just isolated them and inflated the edge to get those. And then this is just me using damn standard and a lazy mouse to get that look. Okay, so that's what that is right there. Let's see. Eugene, hello. Any links to the Discord? How should I find it? Join our YouTube Stylus League, and then see if you can come in tomorrow. We can tell you how to do that. Or Insane Pixel can probably tell you how to do that. Mustache, I always start a character and they pose. I always regret when I have to pose it. Now that's the fun part. You'll start to get like used to it, and then it gets fun. Lowest subdivision level when posing, yeah. Envy, found it. Will. Okay, good. All right, that's everything. I made it through everything. I'm awesome. All right, guys, listen, it's been fun. Thank you again. If you sat with me for this whole thing, you guys are amazing. If you came and left, you're great too. So listen, I really appreciate when you guys come and join me for these things. And I really, really hope that you'll join me at Stylus League. We need a few more viewers to monetize the channel. And once we monetize, we can up our, continue to pay for like StreamYard and up our video quality and do some fun things. We want to start doing some merch, like hats and shirts, mugs, things like that. We've had people asking about that. And maybe I can start doing some prints and start selling them through the Stylus League as well. All right, but that's it. All right, thanks guys. Everyone be cool and stay cool, and I will see you next time. All right, peace everyone.